is your goal to break generational patterns of poverty or financial struggle? Or is it, like for me, it's like, I want to have summer vacations with my kids. Do you want to leave a legacy? What is that why behind it? And that's going to fuel you to keep going and to keep working.
I love talking about increasing your net worth. This is our barometer for wealth building success. Today, we're going to speak with an investor who has grown her net worth to over $1 million by age 44. Amy Greene is our guest today. Amy lives with her husband, Walter, and her 2 children in New Jersey. And when she's not building wealth for her family, she enjoys working out and taking a good nap. Welcome to the show, Amy.
Thank you so much, Andy. It's great to be here.
Great to see you as well. We met at a conference, I think a year ago now. So it's nice to see you again and have this fun conversation. So looking back, Amy, when did you start to really care about improving your financial situation?
Right. So I actually have always cared about personal finance, but I didn't get serious with acting on it until about 7 years ago. So 2015, I'm married with a baby and I get introduced to Dave Ramsey. And so that whole plan just lit me on fire. And so that's when we started to follow the baby steps and get out of debt and really, really make traction on our net worth.
That's awesome. So what kind of debt did you guys have when you started off?
So we had a lot. I owned a condo that I bought all wrong in 2008. And so we sold that. That was about $200,000 of debt. We cleaned up a bit more. So we had $245,000 that we cleaned up in 2 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah. You did quite a bit of work there. And then from the investing side of things, did you start investing right away? How did that go?
So the good news is that both my husband and I had been contributing to our 401ks for many years, so I started the minute I could with my very first job out of college. And my husband too. So we kind of came to the marriage with about equal 401k balances. But we had debt. So the debt kind of, it negated what we had. So I say we started with when we started in 2015, our net worth was basically zero. And so, but yeah, it's just been something that we've grown since then. So yeah, just always investing.
So in 7 years, then you guys went from zero to over $1 million now.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is incredible.
I know.
That's incredible growth.
Right.
That's very cool. Well, let's talk about you guys, how you grew this. So what do you and your husband do for income?
So I am a financial coach. And so I'll tell you that during our debt-free journey, I got let go from my job at the time. And so, it's only been a blessing in disguise. So now I get to help people with their money because we were on this plan. It was just a smooth transition to stay home with my kid at the time. And so I'm a financial coach. So I work with families to help them create a plan for their money so they can break through their limitations and live and leave a legacy. And my husband works for an insurance provider here in New Jersey.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yes.
Okay. So now that we understand how the money comes in, can you talk to us how you guys break down your net worth? Because I know that can be different for other people. So tell us what that consists of so people understand.
So about 62% is in retirement. And so it's kind of sad because I looked at it the other day and it's down, but the market's down. We just ride the wave. So 62% is in retirement. About 29% is equity in our current home. And then about 9% left over is both in cash. I'm a big fan of sinking funds and emergency funds. And then also our children's 529s, which we sometimes don't count towards our net worth, but today I'm counting them. So.
Yeah, I hear you. It's depending on the day of the market. You might want to include them or not. I mean, it is in your name probably until they use it.
It is until they use it. So that's how I look at it. My husband's like, no, it's not our money. I'm like, it is. It is our money.
Yeah, actually, funny enough, my wife just went back to school, and we were looking at, hey, what's a smart way to pay for this? And we utilize Zoe's 529 because it's money that can be used for education. And she's like, all right, as soon as I get my new career going, I'll just put the money back in and replenish it. But
absolutely,
it is in your name and it's your money.
Yes.
So. Very cool. So talk to us about the investing side of things, because that is a large chunk of your net worth. So what is in that retirement bucket? And then how did you start investing to grow that so large?
Right. So, when I was younger, I didn't really have a plan for the retirement. I just picked funds and worked on it that way. I think a lot of us get defaulted into those target date funds, there's nothing wrong with them. However, now knowing what I know now, and I have worked with a financial advisor for quite some time. So even before we found Dave Ramsey and started the whole plan, I was working with a financial advisor who really helped to guide us and grow our money. But I want to caution people, because one of the mistakes we made was we trusted him with everything. Oh, if you think it's a good idea, let's do it. And so there's a small investment we can't get out of right now, and it's not performing well. So there's pieces that we have to pay attention to. So a big part of it is finding a financial advisor that will work with you. And I am not afraid of risk. So we keep a lot of our investments in growth and income. Mutual funds, definitely more mutual funds than anything else. And they tend to do really well. I mean, they might not reach super highs, but I mean, we've had some pretty good years over the past couple of years. And so yeah, you just want to mitigate some losses too. So we've been doing really well with that.
That's great. And, diversifications is important as well. How do you guys diversify, knowing that we're having kind of a downtime in the market right now? Talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I follow exactly what Dave Ramsey teaches with the four mutual fund types. So growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. And so that's where our money is played out. Those percentages have kind of shifted over time in my husband's 401k, and I'll go back and kind of tweak them, but I look at like, how are they performing? Is it time? Can I wait? International is the wild card. So we just kind of, choose what to do there. But yeah, so we look at all kind of aggressively growing mutual funds is where we want to put our money
That's great.
for now. Yes.
That's great. Yeah. And obviously it's working out well for
It
you guys.
is.
Fantastic.
It is.
Very cool.
Yep.
So how about the debt side of things? We talked about the assets. Do you guys have any other debts in your life right now?
The only debt we have is on this mortgage, and
Okay.
that's not included in this calculation. Like, we just took the equity and to calculate our net worth.
Got it. Yeah,
Yep.
that makes sense. So is paying off the mortgage something that you're interested in doing on later on, or do you guys see it as a low interest debt and something you're just going to hold on to?
No, I really want to pay it off. I used to have a goal of paying it off by the time I'm 50. However, we are looking to upgrade our home in the next year or two. So that will probably be pushed out because that mortgage will get bigger. But yeah, definitely something I want to pay off before, within a reasonable amount of time, but something to pay off a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah. You guys have a pretty low interest loan right now anyway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
great. Yeah. What a great market to have a mortgage in at this point. So, talk to us about, during this process of 7 years, when going from zero to over $1 million in 7 years, were there any windfalls or inheritances that contributed to this?
Not at all. No inheritances, no windfalls. My husband does get a bonus, but that's part of his compensation package. So I don't look at it as a windfall.
Got it.
So,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I hear you. And in most cases, as you know, being a Ramsey person, that they did a lot of research and found that most people in this situation didn't have an inheritance or a big windfall that contributed to their situation. And if they did, it was something minor.
Right.
$30,000, $10,000, things like that. That helped out. So just wanted to help people out for that story. So talk to us about, during this process, as you're going through, were there any, I guess, tips or tricks that worked well for you that maybe you thought that could help other people on their net worth building journey?
Sure. I mean, for us, it was really, it was getting on a budget. And I used to budget, but reactive budget, and be like, oh, look how much I spent. And now I know that we have to plan ahead and tell our money where to go. And I think that there's such beauty and simplicity in that, in saying, what do we want most? And so those things of what's important to us gets put on the budget. And so for me, it's family vacations, and because that's not something I got to do a lot when I was growing up. We just did not take family trips. So we're putting that as a priority, but we're willing to say, I don't need as many clothes or to get my nails done or whatever those other pieces are to it. And so it's just looking at what's important to you and making sure that those are on your budget. We value eating healthy and organic, so that our grocery budget might be a little bit higher than someone who's not doing that. And that's okay. Like, you just start to prioritize. And so I think that that's a huge piece to where we are today, is just making sure we're intentional with where our money is going on a monthly basis.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, absolutely. Having some intentionality. Now, knowing that you're in the Ramsey camp, do you guys use every dollar as your budgeting tool, or?
We do. Yes, we do. And I love the simplicity of it. It's just clean and simple.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great tool. Yeah, we've got, I'm a big Mint fan. I've been using that for a long time, but I just did I did a video about mint versus every dollar, just kind of seeing the
Ah,
differences.
yes.
One of my favorite differences with every dollar is the ability to share with your spouse more than mint. Mint's got it's more individual than it is
Yep.
couple or family focus. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that I really like about every dollar. Is
Hmm.
was there a book on your journey that was influential to you as you were building your financial acumen that helped you along this way?
Yeah, it's gonna be no surprise it was Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. That's really what started it. I checked the book
Yeah.
out from the library, and then I got into the radio show, the podcast, and that I just dove into the deep end with the podcast, and that was it. Flip the
I
switch.
love it. Yeah, Dave was huge for me in the beginning of my journey too. Actually, I
Hmm.
got Total Money Makeover right behind me right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, simple, easy way to go. Just for people to understand generally, do you have an income range that you could share that could help to understand where you guys were in this journey? Was it,
Hmm.
that just so people understand? Because 7 years, that's pretty quick.
That's pretty quick. I mean, back when we could go all the way back to when I graduated high school. I made like $29,000, or not high school, college. But when we started our debt free journey, we were making about 165,000. I lost my job, so we were down now to 100, and and then slowly over time, like we're now over 200,
That's
or
great.
just right around the $200 mark, right?
That's awesome. So, I mean, in order to do something like that, you're saving, I don't know, half, 40%, half, something like that, a lot of your money in order to throw at your retirement accounts, things like that. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, we are currently doing 7%, so we're not quite at that 15 that Dave says, but we
Yeah.
live in New Jersey and it's a very high cost of living state. And so when it was time to turn on retirement, we just weren't able to add to that. And now that our focus is on the next house, we've been really saying, okay, let's just throw money into this mortgage, and getting this house ready, and planning for the next step. And then we'll turn on, we'll increase retirement as we progress. So that's
Got it.
just been where we are with that. But yeah, we have good savings on a monthly
Awesome.
basis for sure.
Very cool. Yeah. So make good money, live below your means, invest a good portion of it, and then this can happen too. So I love it, Amy.
Absolutely.
This is
Yeah.
fantastic. Very cool.
Awesome.
Talk to us about where you guys are now. What excites you now that you're in your early 40s? You guys have hit a net worth of over $1 million. You have
Hmm.
no debt outside of your mortgage in your life. What are your
Hmm.
financial dreams right now?
Well, like I said, the next dream is really moving towards a home upgrade. We are a little cozy in this house here in New Jersey, but I call it our $1 million house. And so we're gonna camp here for a little bit longer. But then I'm working on growing my coaching business as our little kids go to school, and as we start to just really continue to move on and grow. It's expanding my coaching practice to increase our income, and being able to do the things that we want to do in life.
That's great. I love it. So more vacations, upgraded house, concentrate on growing your business that gives you personal fulfillment, and you can
Hmm.
help people along the way, which is
Oh
very
yeah.
cool. So let's talk to the person who's listening right now, and they're saying, you know what? I don't make 160. I don't make, I make probably just a little under 100 between me and my
Hmm.
spouse. This millionaire thing, or even just growing my net worth in general, just seems very difficult for me at all. What would you say
Right.
to that person?
I would say that first, know that you're worth it. You're worth being wealthy. And if you look into some of the research on millionaires, most don't make over six figures in their entire lifetime. And I'm also coming from a state with a high cost of living, so we tend to have higher incomes. So and just know that we spend a lot of money in property taxes and tolls and others. So it's almost like we make half. So we'll just throw that out there. But know that you're worth being wealthy, and you're worth the hard work it takes to get in control of your money, and to do the daily grind of slowly, steadily moving your finances in the right direction, because it's just this daily compounding of your daily habits that will lead to. And that's all we did. We just kind of focused on, here's what we're doing today and this month, and then it slowly kind of went into a good direction. And then we had a huge, like, COVID was really good for the stock market, so we that was really like we that was like the jet stream that kind of pushed us over the edge. Second, I want you to be clear on your why, as to why you want to build wealth. It's possible for everybody and anybody. And so there's stories of janitors like leaving $8 million when they pass away. And so there's a lot to it, and it takes time. Compound interest is a lover of time, and so the sooner you can start, the better. But you know, is your goal to break generational patterns of poverty or financial struggle? Or is it, like for me, it's like, I want to have summer vacations with my kids. Do you want to leave a legacy? What is that why behind it? And that's going to fuel you to keep going and to keep working. And then just know it's possible. It is so possible. And that's kind of where I am like, that's where I'm just like, we all can be millionaires if we just choose to. And it doesn't take a lot of money per month. It's like $100 a month if you start at age 25 to 65. But if you're already older, it's just going to take like $250 a month. It's not going to take a ton of money. And that's a cable bill. It's not something that's extravagant. It doesn't take, windfalls and, millions of dollars or winning the lottery. It's possible to do a lot with what you currently have.
I think that's a great message, Amy. Thank you so much for being here. Talk to us about where
Sure.
people can connect with you if they want to
Sure.
maybe get a financial coaching session with you or just learn more about
Absolutely.
what's going on with you.
Absolutely. So I am on Facebook and Instagram at Amy Greene with that extra E, FC. So Amy Greene FC. And you can find me at LinkedIn. I'm at AE Greene, lots of E's in there. So make sure you get them all. Or you can email me at amygreenefc@gmail.
I love it. We're going to capture all the E's. We're going to capture all the green and grow our net worth. Amy, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me on, Andy.